in this country, we have these cathedrals. They're very sacred grounds. And it's one thing that's very unique to us. Thousands of people show up 6 to 8 times a year. And, in other countries, they have the Roman Colosseum, they have the Leaning Tower of Pisa, they have these very old foundational buildings that people gather to. And in the United States, we have on-campus college football stadiums. These are just gigantic Goliath building structures where it's pride and passion every Saturday in the fall. And instead of playing on these sacred grounds, we are playing games 4,000 miles away on an island where it rains 150 days a year on a field meant for soccer. This is sacrilegious to college football, but we'll dive into that a little bit later. I am your boy Matt Nepper. He is my arch rival, Taylor Druckenmiller, and you're watching Hot Takes and Game Breaks. How's it going, Taylor?
It's going, man. Week 0 in the books. Got a nice little appetizer this week of 5 games, and we're gonna break them down. But yeah, to that Dublin Iron game, what a ugly game.
Mm-hmm.
Fumble after fumble. Yeah, it was a really sloppy game. But what's your take on the game?
So, if you are going to show Europeans college football, you wouldn't show them a playoff game between Alabama and Ohio State. You wouldn't show them the best of the best because college football isn't about perfection. It is sloppy, it is gritty, it has chaos. And this may have been one of the better showcases of what college football truly is to the outside fan. This isn't the NFL where everybody is a freaking professional. This is college football, and that's what it is. Where where it's just so much more fun when it's sloppy and messy and teams are not executing 100%. And in week 0, you're gonna get more of that.
Yeah. So looking at the game, looking at the box score, I mean, you would think Kansas State dominate. I mean, not dominated this game, but I mean, looking at the quarterback battle, Avery Johnson. I mean, he had 270 yards passing and 2 touchdowns and rushing touchdown, and then over to Rocco Beck. Like I said in the preview last episode, you could tell that their offensive passing game wasn't really there, and he had 14 for 28, 183 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the ground game was all right. They had a couple of running backs coming back from last year that you could tell that they were all right. But yeah, I mean what killed Kansas State was not only the 4th and 1 at the end of the game, but they also had a 4th and 1 early in that game in the second quarter inside the 10-yard line. And in a game to that magnitude against your rival Iowa State, you got to come up with a first down on 4th and 1. And I think
Hmm.
that, I mean, Kansas State, I mean, both teams played good, but Kansas State made more mistakes than Iowa State did. And I think that was why Iowa State won the game.
Now, Iowa State got bailed out after doing a very terrible mistake. They did probably one of the worst things you can do on a football field. And I am talking about pitching it from your own 1 yard line. Did I not see Steve Sarkisian in Texas do that against Ohio State? This one, he pitched it to the running back fumbled it. Kansas State jumped on the ball. Kansas State couldn't do anything. They punted it away. So I guess no harm, no foul. But when you're going in for a touchdown with in the first couple minutes of a game, why are you running a pitch play on 1st and goal? It's like these coaches outthink themselves. They're literally in like QB sneak range. And I guess they just decided we're gonna get tricky with it.
Yeah, I'll never understand why people pitch the ball that close to the goal line. It
Hmm.
doesn't make any sense. That's one thing I do like about my boys in the maize and blue is we get inside that goal line, we're running it right up the middle every single time until we get in the end zone. And then if we don't, we don't. But yeah, I mean, so so for Kansas State going forward, this is I mean, it's week 1 or week 0. They got they got a lot of time to make up for this, and I thought they looked good. Like they didn't look bad. Like it doesn't I don't think Iowa State was the superior team in this matchup. But yeah, going forward, maybe in nicer weather conditions. They won't fumble the ball, give the ball away twice. But yeah, going forward, I think Kansas State will be all right. But I do think Iowa State's gonna be good too. They had a couple young receivers that made big plays in the game, even though Rocco Beck didn't have that good of a game. But yeah, I mean, going forward, I think Kansas State will be all right. But yeah, as of right now, Iowa State's leading the Big 12.
Yeah. And, as if the day for Kansas State couldn't get any worse. You know, they say that the Irish are known for their fighting, but we can fight here in America, and we can fight there in Ireland too. And I'm talking about Avery Johnson's dad was caught on tape fist fighting his own son, Avery Johnson's other, like he's got a couple brothers, so his older brother. And as someone who has seen a couple quarterback dads embarrass their kids, I say this is probably the most embarrassing father of a quarterback since that time JJ McCarthy decided to grope JJ's girlfriend on national TV at the 2002 or 2022 Fiesta Bowl. Yikes.
Come on, man. We don't got to throw Michigan under the bus like that. But yeah, I seen they issued an apology this morning to
Hmm.
the fans and Kansas State and whatever. But yeah, there's no room for that. I mean, Avery Johnson had a good game, in my opinion. I don't think his parents
Yeah.
should be mad, really. I mean, I'd be mad at Dylan Edwards for fumbling his one touch of the game. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a bad look. And then, as if Kansas State's day couldn't get any worse, their rival Kansas showcases their new state-of-the-art stadium, and it's a beauty from what they showed on the TV to broadcast. They got all new locker rooms, facilities, and Kansas wasn't content in just showing off the stadium and the facilities. Kansas, they played Fresno State and won that game 31-7 with their quarterback Jalen Daniels going off. 18 of 20, buck 76, three touchdowns. Have yourself a day, Jalen Daniels.
yeah, $450 million stadium, I believe that was.
Hmm.
But yeah, Kansas looked really good. At the beginning of the game, uh, Fresno State went straight down the field. And in my eyes, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a shootout. I had Kansas minus 13 and a half, and I was kind of scared at the beginning of the game, but yeah, Kansas offense looked really good. Looked like they picked off where they left off last year. Jalen Daniels, really good game. Throwing the ball, running the ball. There's a couple times where Fresno State would send a blitz and Jalen Daniels would get out of there like it was nothing and look down the field and make a throw. But yeah, Kansas. I mean, I know it's only Fresno State and it's only week 0, but Kansas did look really, really good today.
Yeah, they look like they picked up where they left off last year. And they did it with ease. I feel like it could have been even a bigger of a margin of victory, but they let their foot off the gas. They didn't have to show too much. And they got some athletes over there. I know they
Yep.
have at least one Alabama transfer playing wide receiver, I believe. He
Yep.
he like he showed out and like I said, it was a bad day to be a Kansas State fan and probably a great day to be a Kansas fan.
Yeah. And then after this or a little bit before this game kicked off, we had UNLV and Idaho State.
Hmm.
UNLV won the game 38-31. Uh, Beginning of that game was a little iffy for the running Rebels. Former Michigan quarterback Alex Orji fumbles the ball into the end zone, and yeah, I think they were down 10-0 to start the game, and then they kind of got their foot on the gas, and luckily they won the game. But yeah, what do you
Yeah,
think, Mo?
the Dan Mullen era at UNLV is not off to a great start. They were 30-point favorites. They won the game by 7, and they gave up over 500 yards while on defense. That is not going to win you many games. They're fortunate they have won this one, but it's just only going to get tougher. I do not believe Idaho State is even a good FCS team, but we'll see. Week 0, we don't know for sure.
Yeah, so Alex Orji made up for his mistake. He scored the game winning, or not the game winning touchdown, but 8 minutes left in the game he scored. But a big part of that game was Jaden Thomas, the running back. Only on 10 carries, he had 147 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I mean, going forward, at least they got that. I don't think they completely figured out their quarterback situation yet. I'm sure both quarterbacks that keep playing, but uh, but yeah, UNLV want to know in the Dan Mullen area, but we'll see, we'll see.
Hmm. And now go to Western Kentucky, Sam Houston State, where I feel like Western Kentucky did a good job of making me seem like I know what I'm talking about. I'm like, hey, they always score points, and what they do, they scored points. And even when they don't have to score points, they have a punter who probably did the punt of the year. Obviously, it's week 0, but let's remember this one. He nailed a 71-yard punt that landed at the 2-yard line. Doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a former son of an NFL punter, I believe. I don't remember the name, but yeah, I mean, in that game, Maverick McIver, I believe his name is, 400
Hmm.
yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, I said last week, Western Kentucky, they always got good quarterback play. I'm sure this guy would be gone at a P5 or P4 school in a couple years, but yeah, Western Kentucky 41 to 24, and yeah, the over hit. I'm pretty sure you said take the over in that one, and that one
Hmm.
definitely hit.
What the heck did the punter do to become the former son? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Crap.
The former again, I said it
Yeah.
again.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
son
Hey,
son of a former son of the former punter in the
I guess Avery Johnson's family isn't the only one with problems, huh? I'm just messing.
NFL.
And then the nightcap. Game of the day, in my opinion. And that was Hawaii, Stanford. Stanford traveling to Hawaii. And it was a fun one. It started sloppy, started slow. Hawaii ended up winning that game 23 to 20. And in my eyes, that was the perfect college football game. We'll break it down a little bit as to why, but you checked that game
Yeah,
out too, right?
yeah, that was a good game.
Hmm.
Going into the game, we said Stanford's quarterback, fifth year senior, barely played at all in his college career, and it showed. I mean, 15 for 30, 109 yards and an interception. Stanford's in a bad place, in my opinion. Micah Ford, he had 26 carries for 113 yards and a touchdown, but they should have fed him.
Better
I
hit
mean,
more.
they waited too long. They started feeding him in the second half, and I feel like they had one drive where, I mean, he probably had 9 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown that drive. And yeah, I mean, not Stanford's definitely not where they used to be, um, and they have a long road ahead of them.
Yeah, Stanford did have a old school Stanford drive in this game. They had a 20 play drive that took up over 9.5 minutes where they ran the ball, shoved the ball down Hawaii's throat 15 times, including the last, I believe, 9 plays. And it was just 3 yards here, 2 yards, 4 yards. It was just nonstop. And craziest stat of the day that I saw. That was Stanford's first touchdown by a running back since 2023. And not December of 23, it was September of 23. It's been almost 2 whole years since a running back for Stanford. This is a school of Toby Gerhart. This is a school of just so many great Stanford running backs. You got McCaffrey. You got it's just I don't know, it's just crazy to me.
Yeah, and then I believe after that 20 play drive, they get the ball back before Hawaii score or Hawaii punts the ball away, and Stanford's driving again, and they get
Hmm.
inside like Hawaii's 40, and instead of handing the ball off, they try some play action pass, and he throws an interception straight to the defensive end. I think it was a DB playing out there,
It
but
was a very
yeah,
impressive play. He kind of batted it to himself. It was
yeah.
very impressive.
Yeah, so it's just like I don't know why they went away from the run game. I feel like Stanford had control of that game after that drive, and then they just gave Hawaii all the momentum after that.
Yeah, for Stanford, you think they'd be a lot smarter. Like play calling. You have Andrew Luck, he's a GM. You have Frank Wright, NFL, former NFL head coach. And when us as fans, I feel like we could call plays better than they can. It's not a good sign. And if we want to talk about idiocracy in this Stanford game, so Hawaii is running this trick play, like a double reverse pass. And my guy, Clay Patterson, former Yale transfer, sacked the quarterback for a loss of like 13, 14 yards. It was a big time sack. And what does he do? He gets up and does an aura farming dance for 7 seconds in midfield. Like, what do you think is going to happen? So, guys, what do you think happened? It costed them 15 yards, and Hawaii got a first down. And 2 plays later, Hawaii scored a touchdown. Play of the game, in my opinion, happened in the second quarter.
Yeah. Well, enough talking about how bad Stanford is, and let's talk about how good Micah Alejado is. That
Oh my
dude,
God.
that dude's a gamer, and last game of the year last year, I said or last show he had 460 yards and 5 touchdowns, and had he not gotten hurt in this game, he probably would have put up a similar stat line, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, they're running the run and shoot, so like they're calling a play every 3 seconds, and it's quick out routes, quick out routes, quick out routes, dump down to the running back, all the way down the
Mhm.
field. And yeah, I think Hawaii has a bright future with Micah Alejado at the helm.
Yeah, the guy has yet to lose a game in either college or high school level. Very impressive. And he was out there on one leg. There was a couple of throws where he was thrown off his back foot, and it was just a wobbly little thing that hung up in the air, but still caught by his receivers. Very impressive. Very gritty performance. He definitely earned a fan from me because I think I respect that game. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
and then Poyela Ashlock, I believe that's the receiver's name. He had a hell of a game too at the wide receiver position. Uh, yeah, I mean going forward, Hawaii's we'll see what they do next week. They play at Arizona next week, so we'll see how they can do against another uh Power Four team. But yeah,
yeah, Hawaii had to crawl their way back in that game. There's multiple points in that game where it looked like Stanford was going to win. I think Stanford had a 10-0 lead to start the game. And then there was this drive. I think it was fourth quarter, about 7 minutes ago in the game. Stanford connects on like a 30-yard pass, and it's like, oh, it's over for Hawaii. Like if Stanford scores here, it's over. Defense buckled up. Believe that's when they got that interception, and Hawaii took over from that point on, I feel like. And if you want to end an instant classic college football game, what better way to end that game than a walk-off field goal? And I'm not talking about just any walk-off field goal. I'm talking about a walk-off field goal from a kid from Tokyo, Japan, who learned how to kick field goals by watching YouTube videos. That is one of the cooler stories that you only get in like college football, in my opinion. That's what separates college from the pros. Is like those cool stories like that.
yeah. I believe he was 3 for 3 on the day. Yeah, they tried icing him, but he has ice in his veins. So
Hmm.
yeah,
So damn frosty. So icy clutch. All right. So that was week 0. Do you have any players of the week? Anybody stand
yeah.
out?
I'm gonna take you to Kansas and Jalen Daniels. 18 for 20, 176 yards, 3 touchdowns. Looked really. He almost had a flawless game, and he didn't even have to do much. I feel like they scored most of their points in the first half, and second half was
Mhm.
they were just pretty much on cruise control, not trying to show much. But yeah, he added 47 yards on the ground, escaped a lot of would-be sacks if it was a more or less mobile quarterback. But yeah, Jalen Daniels, Player of the Week.
Yeah, he was definitely on fire, and he also ran for a couple big chunk plays. Great pick. But how can I go away from Michael Aliado? He just is very impressive. The way he was on one leg, gimping around, little 5'10". Everybody else just towers over him, and he's leaving the pocket, hobbled, throwing that rock, leading a game-winning drive. Very impressive stuff. And He has some very, very impressive throws that were close to being touchdowns. The receiver was just barely out of bounds, and his touchdown throws were pretty impressive too. I just very ice in his veins type play. And they gave Hawaii probably their biggest win in years. They not very often you take down a ACC school when you play at a school like Hawaii. It's also not very often you have an ACC school just across the coast on the Pacific from you. But what are you gonna do?
Right.
But yeah, it was a nice little appetizer for week one, week zero. And, next week we're going to have a lot more games to break down. We're going to have a lot more things to digest. The season is finally coming. You can feel that cold, crisp in the air. Give me goosebumps just thinking about it. And I think Thursday we get a full slate of games. Like, and I'm not talking about these standalone games, but you're going to be able to turn on the TV and you're going to have four games you can watch from TV, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, man. Big game in Columbus next week.
Hmm.
The debut of my boy Bryce Underwood, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
So we're gonna have an episode come out sometime this week. We're gonna be breaking down games, and then also this week we're gonna be traveling down Route 6 and checking out Eddie George and the Bowling Green Falcons. Eddie George's debut in the FBS level. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Curious how the Bowling Green faithful are gonna show up and how the atmosphere is gonna be like. Is this gonna be like Dion at Jackson State, or is it gonna be more of a like, okay, yeah, we got a new coach, who cares? I hope it's more like a Dion situation, personally.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to, man. We'll see.
Hmm.
He's got a son on his team also, so you know,
Heck yeah.
big defensive tackle, I believe. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching them take on Lafayette on
Yep.
Thursday, and yeah,
Yep. Home state hero, Eddie George, coming back home, kinda. But that's it for hot takes and game breaks. We'll be releasing episodes every week. Thank you again for Matt Nepper, Taylor Druckenmiller. We're out.
go blue.
Go Buckeyes.